On a day marred by a fierce snowstorm, mechanic Adrien expected nothing beyond his routine. Yet, unbeknownst to him, that evening would spiral into a horrific accident, marking the start of a transformative chapter in his life. Stay tuned as this riveting tale unfolds. Living alone in a quaint town, Adrien, at 30, had established himself as a competent mechanic, capable of mending almost anything. His recent years had been spent in this small community, where he used his final savings to open a modest workshop. Here, he attended to various repairs for the townspeople, earning their trust and affection. As winter beckoned, the town buzzed with tourists drawn to the nearby majestic mountain, perfect for skiing. The ski resorts and hotels on this mountain had bolstered the town's charm, much to the locals' delight. Adrien, often called upon by these mountain hotels, especially during the winter, found himself frequently busy. The most opulent among these, the newly inaugurated Mira Spa Hotel, represented a significant investment by a major corporation. With the ski season in full swing, but threatened by a severe rain and snowstorm warning that promised a 2-day ordeal, tourists scrapped their plans, while locals braced themselves. That fateful day, as the storm loomed, the Mira Spa Hotel summoned Adrien to preemptively secure the premises. Tasked with various safeguarding duties, he reinforced structures and secured windows with metal panels as the rain commenced. The ground, blanketed in snow, turned treacherously slippery with the rain. After completing his tasks, Adrien hastily prepared his invoice and left it at the hotel's reception, eager to return home before the storm intensified. Navigating the perilous mountain road, he noticed a luxury car ill-suited for the harsh conditions, spiraling out of control and crashing. Without hesitation, Adrien rushed to aid the unconscious woman inside the car, battling the elements to save her. His quick thinking and careful handling during such critical moments underscored his resolve and bravery. As the night progressed, Adrien faced not only the storm's fury, but also a power outage at the hospital where he brought the injured woman. His mechanical expertise once again came to the rescue as he tackled the failing hospital generator, demonstrating his invaluable skills in crisis situations. This story of unexpected heroism and the life-altering events that followed will keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss out on the gripping details of how a simple act of courage can change fate. Adrien was promptly back in his vehicle, racing against the worsening storm to reach the safety of the town hospital. During the tense drive, he silently expressed his gratitude for the tire chains that clung to the slick road, offering him the traction needed in such perilous conditions. As he approached the hospital, he muttered a silent prayer, hoping against hope that the woman would pull through and that he was fast enough. Upon reaching the hospital, Adrien didn't hesitate. He sprinted from his car to the emergency entrance, shouting for immediate assistance. "There's a woman in my car who's been in an accident. She needs help right away." His voice was thick with urgency, compelling the hospital staff to spring into action. They swiftly moved the woman from his car to a stretcher and rushed her inside as Adrien followed, his heart pounding fiercely. Waiting anxiously in the corridor, Adrien was consumed with worry over the woman's fate. The sounds of urgent medical directives and the bustling of the emergency room staff only heightened his anxiety. Lost in his thoughts, he pondered the woman's identity and what had brought her out on such a treacherous night. His phone, now dead, was of no use, leaving him feeling even more isolated as he contemplated seeking a charger. Suddenly, the hospital plunged into darkness due to a power outage caused by the storm, exacerbating the already tense situation. Adrien's instinct to help kicked in once more as he approached a security guard to inquire about the chaos. Learning of the generator failure, he insisted on being taken to the generator room, determined to make a difference. In the generator room, Adrien's expertise quickly became apparent. He diagnosed the problem, and with the help of a security guard holding a flashlight, he set to work. Despite the mounting pressure, Adrien managed to repair the generator, restoring power to the hospital, a feat that earned him the silent accolades of the medical staff and a deep personal satisfaction. Returning to the waiting area, he was approached by a nurse who updated him briefly on the woman's condition. The news was still uncertain, but Adrien clung to hope, his thoughts swirling with concern and curiosity about the mysterious woman's identity and the circumstances that led to her dire situation. Moments later, the lights flickered back on, and Adrien could hear the relief in the voices around him as power was restored throughout the hospital. He stayed a while longer, watching the staff return to their duties with renewed vigor, thanks to the light. The turmoil in the hospital had subsided, but the storm outside continued to rage. After ensuring everything was stable, Adrien returned to the waiting area, still anxious about the woman's condition. He approached another nurse, seeking an update, but was told to remain patient as the doctors were still assessing her situation. Feeling powerless and consumed with concern, Adrien sat down, trying to distract himself with the storm's howl. Soon, a doctor approached him, a look of cautious optimism on his face. "She's out of immediate danger," he informed Adrien, who felt a weight lift from his shoulders. The doctor explained that she had sustained a serious concussion and was now stable thanks to Adrien's swift actions. Grateful for this news, Adrien asked if he could visit her, but was advised to wait until her family was notified and arrived. Adrien paced the waiting room, wrestling with his thoughts about the woman's identity and her reason for being on the mountain road during such a perilous storm. His phone, which had died earlier, was now charged enough to turn on, and he decided to use it to contact the hotel where he suspected she might have been headed. He dialed the hotel's number and quickly explained the situation to a staff member, describing the woman and her car to see if she was a guest or perhaps related to someone there. The hotel staff took note and promised to look into it, acknowledging the urgency in Adrien's voice. Hanging up, Adrien felt a mix of relief and unease. He knew he had done everything he could at the moment, and now had to wait for the hotel to respond. As he sat back down, the hospital's activity around him seemed to slow down, but his mind did not, filled with concern for the unknown woman and the mysterious circumstances of that night. While waiting, Adrien stood in the dimly lit corridor, his mind racing with questions about the woman's identity and what had driven her to risk the dangerous roads on such a stormy night. His concern deepened as he felt the passing of every minute in the tense atmosphere of the emergency department. Suddenly, the hospital's lights flickered back on, a signal that power had been restored. The staff, visibly relieved, resumed their duties with renewed energy. Adrien, heartened by the return of light, felt a momentary respite from his worries. He watched the flurry of activity, grateful for his timely repair of the generator. A nurse approached him soon after, her expression serious yet reassuring. She informed him that the woman was now stable, having narrowly escaped more severe outcomes thanks to the prompt medical attention she received. Adrien's quick thinking and bravery had been crucial. The nurse thanked him for his heroic efforts, which had not only saved the woman but also significantly aided the hospital during the crisis. Still, the woman remained unconscious, and the doctors were cautiously monitoring her condition. Adrien, feeling a mix of relief and anxiety, requested to be notified as soon as any new information was available. He then decided to step outside for a moment, needing some air to clear his head. Outside, the storm seemed to echo his turbulent thoughts. Adrien leaned against the hospital building, looking up at the relentless downpour and letting the cool air soothe his frayed nerves. His thoughts wandered back to the woman, her identity still a mystery, her connection to the hotel uncertain. He hoped the hotel staff would soon provide answers that could help piece together the puzzle of the night's events. As he stood there, lost in thought, his phone buzzed. It was the hotel, calling back with news. The woman was indeed a guest at the hotel, and her family had been contacted. They were on their way to the hospital, anxious and eager for any news of her condition. Relieved that the family was informed, Adrien returned inside, prepared to meet them and share everything he knew about the accident. He felt a responsibility to be there, to offer support, and to see the situation through to the end. Back inside the hospital, Adrien's tension was palpable as he awaited the arrival of the woman's family. Every second seemed to stretch into eternity in the buzzing environment of the emergency room. When her family finally arrived, they were visibly distressed, seeking answers about her condition. Adrien, feeling a profound connection to the woman he had saved, prepared to share the details of the harrowing event. The family, overwhelmed with gratitude, thanked Adrien repeatedly for his heroic actions. The hospital staff, acknowledging Adrien's critical role in both the rescue and the power restoration, praised his quick thinking and technical skills. The father, in particular, was deeply moved, expressing his heartfelt appreciation for Adrien's efforts that had likely saved his daughter's life. As conversations unfolded, Adrien learned that the woman was a guest at the hotel, confirming his earlier suspicion. Her journey on the treacherous mountain road had been ill-advised, a desperate attempt to meet her father at the hotel before the storm worsened. Feeling a mix of relief and responsibility, Adrien continued to stay by the family's side, offering comfort and support as they navigated through the crisis. The doctors provided updates, indicating that while the woman was stable, the next few hours would be critical for her recovery. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on Adrien, who remained at the hospital, committed to seeing the situation through. His thoughts were a blend of concern for the woman's well-being and a deeper contemplation of the unpredictable ways in which lives can intersect. Throughout the ordeal, Adrien stayed at the hospital, his concern for the woman growing as time passed. He watched the medical team work tirelessly, their expertise evident in the calm but urgent pace at which they operated. Adrien's actions had not only saved the woman, but had also preserved the hospital's operational capacity during the crisis, a fact that did not go unnoticed among the staff and the woman's family. The woman's father, filled with emotion, approached Adrien again to express his deep gratitude. He acknowledged that without Adrien's decisive intervention, the situation could have been tragic. The father's words added a profound sense of fulfillment to Adrien's exhausting day, reinforcing the impact of his bravery and quick thinking. As the night turned into morning, the woman finally regained consciousness. Her recovery was a relief to everyone, especially Adrien, who had been deeply affected by the experience. The doctors informed the family that she was out of immediate danger, thanks to the prompt medical care and Adrien's timely actions. Adrien, feeling a sense of closure and relief, decided it was time to leave the hospital. He quietly exited, his mind heavy with the night's events, but comforted by the knowledge that he had made a significant difference. The experience had changed him, imbuing him with a renewed appreciation for the fragility of life and the impact one individual can have. As he drove back to his workshop, the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon, Adrien reflected on the unexpected journey of the past hours. It was a reminder of how suddenly life can change, and how the actions of a single moment can resonate far beyond what one might imagine. Adrien's return to his daily routine was marked by a newfound sense of purpose and reflection. The incident had deeply impacted him, not just in terms of the dramatic rescue and the night at the hospital, but also in how he viewed his role in the community and his own life's potential. The gratitude from the woman's family and the recognition from the hospital staff had left a lasting impression on him. As the days passed, Adrien found himself thinking about the woman he had saved. He wondered how she was recovering and hoped that she would regain her full health and spirit. The ordeal had forged an unexpected bond, one that reminded him of the unpredictable nature of life and the connections we form with others. One morning, as he opened his workshop, Adrien received a call. It was from the woman's father, inviting him to visit the hotel to personally thank him once more. The invitation was not just a gesture of gratitude, but also an acknowledgement of Adrien's heroism that had saved his daughter's life. Adrien accepted the invitation and, upon arriving at the hotel, was warmly greeted by the staff and the woman's family. The father introduced him as the man who had changed the course of their family's history through his courageous actions. This recognition was both humbling and empowering for Adrien, reinforcing his sense of community and his resolve to always help others in need. The woman, now recovering, expressed her own heartfelt thanks to Adrien. She shared her perspective on the accident and how Adrien's intervention had given her a second chance at life. The conversation was emotional and filled with a mutual appreciation for life's second chances. This encounter further solidified the bond between Adrien and the family. He left the hotel that day with a deeper understanding of the impact one person can have on the lives of others, inspired by the collective strength of human spirit and community support. The profound impact of that fateful night continued to resonate with Adrien long after the incident. He felt a deep connection to the woman and her family, forged through the dramatic circumstances of their meeting. This experience had not only highlighted the importance of community and human connection, but also had given Adrien a renewed purpose in life. As time passed, Adrien received another call from the woman's father. He was invited to a small gathering the family was hosting as a celebration of her recovery, and as a thank you to Adrien for his bravery and quick action. Adrien accepted the invitation with humility and a sense of anticipation. At the gathering, Adrien was introduced to other family members and friends, all of whom expressed their gratitude. The warmth and appreciation they showed were overwhelming, and Adrien was deeply touched. He shared his story, recounting the events of the rescue, which captivated and inspired everyone present. The woman, now fully recovered, took a moment during the gathering to speak about her ordeal. She thanked Adrien personally, her words filled with emotion and gratitude. She reflected on the preciousness of life and the incredible chain of events that had led to her being saved. Her family nodded in agreement, visibly moved by her words and by the chance encounter that had brought Adrien into their lives. This event was not just a celebration of her recovery, but also a recognition of the unbreakable bonds that sometimes form under the most unexpected circumstances. For Adrien, it was a reaffirmation of his values and the impact one individual can have on the lives of others. He left the gathering feeling honored and uplifted, carrying with him the heartfelt thanks and the emotional connections made that day. The gathering had a lasting effect on Adrien, reinforcing his belief in the power of human connection and the significance of every individual's actions. Inspired by the overwhelming support and gratitude he received, Adrien felt more connected to his community than ever before. This experience had illuminated the profound impact that seemingly small, brave acts can have on the lives of others. Motivated by these events, Adrien decided to use the recognition and support he had received to further contribute to his community. He began planning ways to improve his workshop, aiming to offer more services that could benefit his neighbors and enhance the town's resilience in emergencies. Adrien also became more involved in community safety initiatives, sharing his knowledge and skills to help prepare for future crises. His actions inspired others in the town to volunteer and engage in community efforts, creating a ripple effect of goodwill and preparedness. As the weeks turned into months, Adrien's workshop flourished, becoming a cornerstone of the community. People came not only for repairs, but also for advice and to share their own stories. Adrien's life had changed significantly since the night of the storm, marked by deeper relationships and a strengthened sense of purpose. The woman he saved and her family remained in close contact with Adrien, often expressing their ongoing appreciation. They frequently invited him to family events, and he became an honorary member of their family. The bonds formed through that critical incident grew stronger, anchored in mutual respect and gratitude. This profound experience not only transformed Adrien's day-to-day life, but also deepened his sense of belonging and purpose within the community. His commitment to helping others and the impact of his actions on the community were continually recognized and celebrated by those around him. The bond Adrien had formed with the woman and her family evolved into a lasting friendship. They regularly reached out to him with updates and invitations, ensuring he remained an integral part of their lives. This ongoing connection was a constant reminder of the night that had changed their lives forever. Adrien's workshop became more than just a place for repairs. It was a hub for community support and a testament to the power of goodwill. He used his skills not only to fix cars and appliances, but also to teach others how to handle emergencies, enhancing the community's overall safety and preparedness. The gratitude of the woman's family and the respect of his community fueled Adrien's passion for his work and his involvement in local affairs. He participated in community meetings, helped organize safety drills, and continued to support those in need, making a significant difference in the lives of many. Through his actions, Adrien demonstrated the enduring impact of kindness and courage, becoming a role model in his community. His story inspired others to act selflessly and reinforced the idea that everyone has the potential to make a meaningful contribution to society. Adrien's influence in the community and the recognition he received for his actions grew as he continued to involve himself deeply in local initiatives. His dedication to public service and the strong connections he fostered served as a beacon for community spirit and cooperation. The woman he saved, along with her family, remained close, treating him as one of their own, and their regular interactions enriched Adrien's life immeasurably. The experience had profoundly altered Adrien's perspective on life and his role within the community. He found great satisfaction in his increased ability to contribute positively to those around him. His workshop not only served as a place for mechanical repairs, but also became a gathering spot for those seeking advice and support, further solidifying his role as a community pillar. As Adrien's story spread beyond the town, it inspired others to recognize the importance of community and the impact of individual actions. His tale of bravery and kindness was featured in local news, bringing him even more support and admiration from a wider audience. Encouraged by this support, Adrien expanded his efforts, organizing workshops on safety and first aid, contributing to the community's resilience. He became a symbol of how ordinary people can perform extraordinary acts of heroism when prompted by circumstance. The connections made during that fateful night continued to thrive, proving that acts of kindness not only save lives but also forge lasting bonds. Adrien's life was a testament to the idea that anyone can make a significant difference if they step forward when it matters most.